What's up, y'all? So I had a couple games recently that I thought would be great to go over. My recording software wasn't working at the time, so I don't have the actual gameplay, but I do have the replays, and I figured it'd be a nice opportunity to go back, analyze in the replay, and talk through the thought processes that's going through my head when I'm playing hyper carry jungle, how I play the early game, and the thought process behind my decisions. The early game is really, really important on characters like this. You have to know what you need in order to succeed in the mid to late game. So for Gwen, for this first game, the biggest things at the most basic level is, okay, I need to get some sort of camp lead on the enemy jungle. Her spikes revolve largely around her items and her level 6, 11, 16, so on and so forth. So every time she gets a level up on her R are big power spikes, and so is items. That's where her main power spikes really are. Her early game fights are okay, but especially like into Volibear, like 1v1, it's kind of questionable. Like 2v2s are kind of iffy depending on who you're fighting with. For the most part, in a lot of your games, if you're playing Gwen jungle, you're gonna want to just prioritize getting to level 6 as quickly as possible and shoveling as much gold into you as possible. It's a very selfish early game, but it will pay off if you play it correctly. So with that said, I'm starting bot because it's a little bit of a selfish decision to want to take the grubs, but it's because grubs gives a little bit more XP than drag, so getting level 6 off the grubs and then maybe looking for a play off that level 6 is a little bit more appealing to me than playing for any like early game ganks or anything. So really just the main focus here in this early game is full clear bot to top, get the crab, reset, full clear bot to top, take the grubs, level 6. Once that happens, then we can start looking for more aggressive plays with our R. Hit the vision cone, see if he's on this side of the map. Okay, perfect. Now we know he's there. I'm pinging it. So we get the crab for free. We know he's bot. We have information that Volibear is clearing top to bot. We make sure our bot lane knows so they don't die to a random gank. Perfect. We see him mid now. He moves mid, moves towards top. Watching carefully now. Ping for the Mbessa because Mbessa's taking trades pretty far up in lane. Still watching carefully. Okay, there it is. He just hit that vision cone right up there near my raptors. Him hitting that vision cone is going to become important very shortly. Okay, now here's where him hitting that vision cone comes into importance. So you can see I'm pulling my wolves down towards the river because I'm actually making the decision to invade his raptors. Why is that? Well, we know he's clearing top to bot, and we know he spent that extra time on the map. Like, he was still on the map when we were coming out of base. So we know that from the vision cone. So I know that there's a small window timer where I can actually take these grubs, and I have the smite to secure them. I'm also not afraid of the LeBlanc pre-6, so this is pretty much a free camp to me. Perfect, we get our raptors. I am really low, so I'm afraid to move to the grubs, but as soon as right here when I see Volibear's bot in that bot river, I decide to make the decision to move up to my Krugs to get a little bit more health since I know he's bot side, so I have a little bit of extra time. We have mid push and top dives, so this is perfect. These are completely free now. So this is perfect. We have now successfully, as Gwen, made it to level 6 with a camp advantage. And we have this is nice too, because the scuttle spawns on our side of the map, so this is great. We have a 1-2 camp lead on the Volibear, and we've made it to 6 successfully without dying. And our camps are on a pretty good timer. So overall, as Gwen, this is perfect. Completely fine. The rest of the state of the map doesn't really matter. Like, playing into this team, I'm really going to be able to shred them. So I see Volibear use R. Yes, my bot dies. It is kind of unfortunate. But I do see that Volibear used R, and I still have my R. I make the decision now to walk into his jungle. I see him walk over that ward. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, Volibear has no 6. I have my 6. Yes, we're the same level, but I did see him walk over that ward. So we can look here. I see that all he has is Ionian Boots and Darksteel. I have a Blasting Wand, Recurve Bow, and Darksteel. So on paper, I should win this, even if it is close. I do have to win the Smite battle to win it, which I do. Let me kill him successfully. It's really just a really small window where I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I can probably win this 1v1, and this would be a massive kill for me. I can get a camp over to myself. Yes, I'll end up dying. Set uses R. That's okay. He gets the red buff, which is kind of unfortunate. However, the point being is that I deny another camp to Volibear, and I get a kill on myself. Like I said, your early game on Gwen is going to feel a little bit selfish. If you're confident on Gwen, you're playing a champ, especially in a draft like this where I'm looking at the enemy team, I'm like, yeah, I can just, like, stomp this. Like, if I get enough gold on myself, I will just run through their team. I'm not worried about their champions at all on Gwen, so really just looking for small windows of opportunity to shovel as much gold into myself as possible. So I see that Volibear is still top, so instead of finishing my full clear, like, I can come back to this red and Krugs on the next timer for the grubs. So I'm just choosing to walk in since I still see him top, and just take his raptors again. Just give myself another camp up. I'm now looking bot, okay? I know I have R now. It's coming up off cooldown. I see their low health bars. I'm like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity. I'm full HP and I'm on the flank with R to collect these shutdowns. Perfect. Jin gets a shutdown. I get to get a shutdown. Fantastic. Just looking towards the grubs now. I know Volibear's there. I'm a little bit worried, but I kind of want to go for the Drake now. So what I choose to do is I just choose to take the one grub, get us 4 grubs, and then base and run to the dragon. And Bessa can take him if she wants, that's fine. For me, I kind of care a little bit more about going to the Drake. I'm feeling pretty confident about my power level now because, as well as on base, if you look, 2 reasons I want to base. 1, I get 4 grubs and I would like to even up Drakes as for objectives. And 2, I had full boots and full first item on base. That's massive. Huge power spike. This is a massive power spike for Gwen. So I know my power spike is really strong. At this current moment in the game, I'm super duper strong. My R is going to come off cooldown relatively soon. And I will take the Drake really fast due to my items. With all of this information and knowing that, even though my bot is pushed up, I know how fast I take the Drake. So I quickly secure it, dash over the wall, and I'm gone. But my R is coming off cooldown. So I'm actually looking for a re-engage. But I kind of misjudge it. I probably should have walked around the other way, and that's okay. That's on me, no big deal. Go back to farming. Securing the Drake is really nice as well because it's really extending the game time, which is important, right? We're playing Gwen. We hyperscale. We scale really, really hard. So securing that second Drake and evening up the Drakes just relieves us of a bit of pressure as far as time goes. We can now afford to give a Drake or 2 and it not feel as bad. Move to the grubs. I mean, this is just kind of a bonus that they're still here. Just continue building an XP and gold lead on myself. We see the Ryze is pushed up in lane. I've talked about this in a separate video before. We see how far Ryze is pushed up, so this is a perfect opportunity to invade this side of the jungle. Now I have to be a little bit careful since the wave's bouncing back towards Ryze. Choose to just go in on the Caitlyn since she's so far pushed up and I'm getting chased by Set. Instead of trying to run away, I know how strong I am, so I'm just going to run at the Caitlyn instead. Dodge the middle of the Set R. Easy kill. Now this is important, even though I look low, it's important that I just stand my ground and fight. It goes about as good as it could have. I'm just going to stand my ground and fight him. There's no way I'm going to escape that anyways with how low my health is, so I'm better off just hitting him. Gives us the chance to secure the kill, which we do. So, best case scenario there. Just knowing my champion, knowing the runes, knowing that I'm still strong even though I'm low health, and also knowing that there's literally no way out. So the only way is to fight. Running away is troll, because then the Volibear will live and we'll both die anyways. So I'm now switching my pathing direction towards the Drake. Drakes are what's important now, so I'm swapping directions of my pathing. Now I see them all grouped mid though, and I see that this top wave is kind of stacking, so I choose to actually move to the side lane instead. Gwen, first of all, don't ever be afraid to do this on junglers in general. Like, if there's no one that's even close to catching the top wave, you see them all grouped up like this, just become a side laner for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with this, especially on Gwen. Gwen takes towers, as you'll see in a second here, extraordinarily fast. So this is a great way to punish the enemy team when they're overgrouping, is actually split pushing, even though you're the jungler. I see the step, I don't really care. I take this tower so fast. See how fast Gwen takes towers? This is also just a massive 700 gold influx into myself. Yeah, I misplay this kind of badly. Don't worry about that. I missed the R2, but the important part is I get the kill. I get the tier 2. Now, with this tier 2 gold plus the set kill, I am, like, mega strong now. I am humongous. And the enemy team kind of knows this, so they end up FFing. Perfect example of how to play the early game as Gwen and set yourself up for success in the late game. If that game continues, I am now set up in a position after that split push and just a combination of all those other decisions I made to, I will admit, selfishly stuff gold into myself. Playing into this enemy team, I will just hyper carry, right? Like that's the point of the champion. That's what I'm gonna do into their team. So that's all where all those decisions come from, is from that knowledge of I know my champion. I'm confident in my decision making on this champion. I'm confident in my ability to pilot the champion. So I'm going to do everything I can into this enemy comp to stuff myself full of gold so I can carry in the late game. That's just a good example of an early game on Gwen, not getting disheartened by a fed bot lane and just playing for yourself and looking for those tiny windows of opportunity to swing the game into your favor as a hyper carry late game jungler like Gwen. So hope you all learned something from this. I hope it was educational. You can learn some kind of jungle concepts and just the thinking behind the decision making in the early game of playing hyper carry jungles like Gwen. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you learned anything, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, just talking more about thought processes behind all my decisions. I will see y'all next time. Thanks for all the support, by the way, on the channel. It's been awesome. Hit 50 subs. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. See y'all next time. Peace.